monsters. Good day to you, partner. I'm Guy, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken camp.
Okay, guys, so what are we watching and what does it mean? Tornadoes are actually a really interesting ability that basically function like paladin auras more than any other spell in the game. So if you're trying to compare this to a spell, think of it like a paladin aura. And why it's actually a good comparison is because paladin auras tick on a global timer. Now this isn't on a global timer, but a paladin, let's say, has Holy Fire up or a Fire Golem. Every 25 frames on a global cooldown, it'll pulse and deal damage in its radius. Well, Tornado's the same way, except instead of being on a global cooldown, it has a 15 frame cooldown, and it's basically going to launch out a new set of missiles that are basically bigger than its actual collision hitbox. So what's interesting about this is that our tornado lasts for 75 frames, okay, 3 seconds, and applies periodic damage within its radius every first frame and 15 frames thereafter. Now, tornadoes do have last collide, which means technically they can't double hit the same enemy. If you remember the quiz, this is to prevent spells with large hitboxes like lightning, some ranged abilities like arrows, from hitting the same enemy twice, because it'll be in its body longer than it should and then affect it twice. Last collide prevents that, unless of course that missile interacts with another object, so the last collide is now on that object, and then this body can be hurt again. Why that's important for last collide is that's like, let's say last collide is on the missile, but then next hit delay is like on the mob. Okay, so that's why the mob will, be prevent all damage with the next hit delay flag, but last collide will kind of go, okay, it's on this mob, now it's on this mob, and then this arrow can now hit this mob again. But Tornado shouldn't be able to do that, right? Because it has next hit delay of 25 frames, okay? And it does, trust me. But all of this is ignored, basically, because it's periodic damage. And not only can collision damage be blocked, that part really confused me. But this whole thing kind of confuses me. I like how I'm showing you guys this because I actually do find it very interesting. And there's all of these interesting parts about it where the guy is describing it like paladin auras, how faster cast rate actually will affect the DPS of a wind druid, because although it has a 25 next hit delay, that's basically ignored because it's periodic damage. So actually casting tornadoes does more damage, like in clip 1. And then, is this the same one? Yes, okay. So I found all of that incredibly interesting. The part I guess I don't understand, and kind of why I'm showing this, is because I'm going to ask my own question. Is there 2 hitboxes to a tornado? Or is it just the periodic damage? Because it's like Tornado has all of these features that affect a lot of missiles in the game. Last collide, next hit delay. Yet apparently, since it's periodic damage, it ignores them all. My question is there like a smaller hitbox on a Tornado, which actually is affected by last collide and next hit delay? Now, even if that does exist, it doesn't mean the information from this video is pointless. No, Tornado's affected by faster cast rate because every 15 frames, it's periodic damage, and you're going to re-damage the same mobs, ignoring any sort of last collide or any sort of next hit delay flag. That will remain true. It's more this I'm wondering for myself, because maybe this was an oversight in coding. Because to me, it doesn't make sense why they'd code these features onto a spell that apparently ignores it anyway. So anyways, wrapping up, what's the biggest takeaway from this video? Don't use abilities with next hit delay in a group. Seriously, even a Nova Sorceress definitely can be played because Nova and Frost Nova have had periods of play in group play. I think mainly Frost Nova in Season 2 when it was just completely broken. But it's a very good spell because you can cast it fast, does AoE damage. It's like the Poison Nova. I guess you could say Poison Nova's like Nova. I don't know. Whichever you think came first. Well, technically, Necromancers come from Trangol, so I think our abilities are first. So, sorry, Zurot. Anyways, I'll try to end the video. Oh, by the way, Merry Christmas, guys. My point is this. Even a 4-frame next hit delay can affect the abilities of the rest of your group. When I first was running these tests, I was getting frustrated because I felt like next hit delay wasn't doing anything. Because I'd cast a Tornado and then cast Novas, the Novas are still doing damage. Well, no, the Nova was putting up next hit delay, but the next hit delay was affecting the Tornado, not the Nova. So that's why in these videos I was very aware of going wait for the damage or kind of get a feel for it. And since this game runs at 25 frames, I'm casting at 7 frames a second. It's actually really easy because I got 21 frames. I have 4 frames to play with. Now, what's famous is that I believe Mewtwo King always said that a player can react within 7 frames at a game running at 60 FPS. So, although, yes, technically I'm not able to react to it, just the fact that I have... Wait, my 4 frames times 2 is 8 frames. No, yes, that's why I made this comparison. Oh, man, my math sucks sometimes. Technically, I have more than enough time to react, cast 3 Novas, and see how their damage is ignored, just like you also saw with the Twister. Anything else? They should buff the radius of Tornado. I think it's too small. It just is. And someone explain this to me. Thanks. Skelly King out, GG.
Come and play with us, Daddy.